speed test between these two right now. The OnePlus 7T has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus chipset, an octa-core CPU, and Adreno 640 GPU, and the base model with 8 gigs of RAM and the top tier model with 12 gigs of RAM. This one is the 12 gig of RAM option, where the OnePlus 8 Pro has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 chipset, an octa-core CPU, and Adreno 650 GPU, and the base model with 8 gigs of RAM and the top tier model with 12 gigs of RAM. So let's go and see which one is the faster phone between both of these. Okay, now that we have all these apps cleared out in the background, let me go and clear these out. Let's go and start loading them up. And I have a bunch of these third-party apps that should have downloaded on this phone, I don't know why. And I guess they didn't even download, so I guess I'll have to go and back and re-download all of them, so I have to pause this video now. Okay, we're kind of back, I guess. Let me go and clear out all the apps in the background, and they're clear. So I was only able to download a couple of them, but I'll go ahead and test other apps too. We can go load up like the Play Store, for example. 3, 2, 1. Kind of close the 8 Pros on here, the 7T Pros on the left. And honestly, I couldn't really tell which one was like faster there. They're both pretty much the same. Phone calls 3, 2, 1. About the same. Messages 3, 2, 1. I think the 8 Pro is slightly faster just by a little bit. I can go and load these apps. Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. Looks like the 8 Pro is actually noticeably faster than the 7T Pro, and this isn't even that big of a game. That's actually really surprising. As you can see, the 8 Pro is loaded. The 7T Pro, was a little bit behind, and that was actually really surprising. I was not expecting that. Going from like one generation to the other within like a couple months, it's actually a pretty big deal in my opinion. Dune, 3, 2, 1. Both kind of glitched up a little bit when I clicked on it, but it's totally okay. And they both were almost the same when it came down to that one. Stack, 3, 2, 1. And even to get into that little pop-up was faster on the 8 Pro, followed by the 7T Pro a little bit behind it. So Doodle Jump, 3, 2, 1. And they were both kind of instantaneous in a way, but we did have a little bit of a pop-up on this specific phone, so I don't even know why that happened. Snapchat, 3, 2, 1. I think the 8 Pro was slightly faster there. Instagram, 3, 2, 1. And again, I think the 8 Pro was slightly faster. They both were pretty close. This one did not have that pop-up, but this one did, so a little bit of a difference there. Relay Racing 3, 3, 2, 1. And that one was kind of tough. Maybe the 7T Pro was a little bit ahead, as you guys can see, like in terms of the video and everything. I'm not really too sure which one was faster there. They both were pretty close when it came down to it. You can do like settings, 3, 2, 1. Now these apps are system apps, so there's probably not going to be that big of a difference. But even from the quick little speed comparison that I tested right there, I think the 8 Pro is probably the more times faster one than not. I feel like this phone was pretty fast when it came down to it. The 7T Pro though was still extremely fast too, and really between both, I've been testing them thoroughly. I've done so many reviews about them, and definitely I do think at the end of the day, the 8 Pro is, probably the faster one, but the 7T Pro is right behind it. But I will do a separate full-on speed test at some point, hopefully sooner than later. But just like the speed test, I'll be doing a full camera test too. But